I believe like Payne said after the game, like I think like my class came in and we raised the bar for Purdue basketball. We raised expectations and we won the Big Ten back-to-back years by multiple games. We made that Final Four that was eluding us forever, and we made the finals. And for it to end this way, obviously sucks. But I think me and my class, we came in, we went about our business the right way. We handled stuff professionally. We worked hard, and then we raised the bar for Purdue basketball going forward.
Zach, you were pretty stoic when you were coming off the court, and you gave a high five to a fan. But what are the emotions that you were battling with when you were going back to the locker room?
Yeah, I'm kind of a stoic guy. Like obviously, everyone shows grief in a different way. But for me, I'm always trying to represent Purdue the right way. Obviously, you never want to lower your head. You want to keep your head high no matter what. When you have the Purdue jersey on, so that was the only thing in my mind.
Zach, in the first half, it looked like you and Dan Hurley maybe exchanged some words. Can you tell us what happened in that exchange?
That's just between us.
Zach, you had a dunk late in the game, and you let out kind of a roar. Knowing you left it all out there, knowing it was your last game, was that just kind of expressing the frustration it was in such a game like this?
Yeah, when you play against a team like UConn, like that, you got to be perfect for 40 minutes. And there were some stretches where I wasn't perfect, and that came back to bite us. And at the end of the game, you kind of reflect on all the mistakes that you made in the game and what you could have done better. Obviously, there's nothing I can do to change it, but I was just frustrated.
Zach, what do you hope your legacy is here at Purdue?
I don't think that's up for me to decide. I think, like obviously, the Purdue will determine my legacy. But I think for me, you can say anything you want about my game. You can say anything you want about how I play, but I don't think you can ever say that I never stepped on the court and didn't give it my 100%. I never took a night off. I never took a practice off for 4 years. I left everything on the court every time I stepped on, and that's the only thing I want to be remembered for.
Zach, are you willing to, after 4 years of what you did, this goes beyond setting the standard at Purdue? You may have changed the game, considering the dearth of big men for the last few decades. Are you willing to consider that you may have changed the game? It goes beyond setting a standard at Purdue.
I just played basketball the way that I thought was most effective. I wasn't worried about kind of how people might perceive my game or how people think I should play. I knew the way that I played helped Purdue win basketball games, and that was the only thing that was important to me.
So what's that burden like? Just you talked about perfection, holding yourself to that. What's that like?
It's what everyone expects out of themselves. You go up and down our roster. Everybody wants to be perfect in every game they play. It's a tough thing to achieve, but it's what you strive for every single time you step on that court.
Zach, I know you're the people coming back. Now the bar's been raised, obviously. You saw what that loss did last year for this program. Can this elevate these guys to that next step? Just the momentum, the fire inside to finish the job.
I got so much trust in everybody, like all the underclassmen and everybody that's going to come back. I got so much belief in them, and I have so much admiration for the way that they've handled themselves. Like I remember how I was when I was young, and to see how they act when they're young, it's amazing. And I think they're going to continue to have success without me.
What did this team, this year, this program mean to you? In our offense in that area.
Matt, you talk about one game at a time, and it is, but these guys looked at this one game for a whole year and said it was basically, we're going to win a national championship or fail. That's an impossibly high bar, and they almost pulled it off. So.
Right, yeah, that's, for us, and for anybody that's in this position, it's not a failure. You got beat, but it's not a failure. And then there's a big difference there, the year before it is. Right, like when that happens, and for us that was so tough because you're a 2 seed, 3 seed, 4 seed, 5 seed, 6 seed, whatever the hell we are, for about 6-7 years, and you fight like hell to be a 1 seed. Like that's what everybody wants, right? And you get there, and then you have that disappointment. So for all those guys to be able to sit in that and then come back out and go on an international trip, Zach goes to the World Cup, and then go the whole season. And I've always told you guys, like you want the NCAA tournament to start in November. Because you're just tired of it. Like you're tired of the questions. You're tired of it. You know, we have a top 5 schedule in the country, and we go undefeated, and like nobody appreciates it. Like, you know how hard it is to beat the 3 teams in Hawaii and beat the #1 ranked Arizona team, and to go into Toronto and beat Alabama. I think Alabama proved how good they are, and so like our guys did special things, but like you felt good about it, but like it was like, well, we still haven't got to the NCAA tournament. We still haven't, like, you're still just sitting there. You win your league by 3 games. You know, it's the first time since 1976 to win a league back-to-back years, by multiple games, which is just a crazy stat. So like you go through all those things, but now you're still like, hey, you got to beat Grambling. You know what I mean? Like you carry that, like you just do. You carry it as a coach. You know, coaches always say it's not that big deal. We'll keep our focus. We'll move on. You feel that. You feel it as a player. You feel it as a coach. You're not human if you don't feel it. And so, like for us, like, you know, I just got a lot of respect for our guys, for young people, competitive people, to be able to string together 5 wins and almost win a national championship is pretty impressive.
Does this raise the standard at Purdue?
No question, but it doesn't change how we operate. You know, and that's probably the number one thing for us is, you know, the landscape is changing. You know, and where does that go? Like, where's the guardrails in that world? You know, and so we've been able to keep doing it the same way. You know, it'll be interesting if we can still keep doing it the same way. I would think we can. You know, we have major support in our place, so that's not going to be an issue. But we're not going to get away from the education and the people and like growing and developing guys. Like, you know, I hope I don't have to do that. I love the David Jenkins and the Lance Joneses of the world. I just don't want to take 4 to 5 guys, you know, that now they're coming to your place and they want the same role. You know, when in reality, like when you take Lance Jones, it's perfect, but it's one guy, right? You know, it's one guy. And so if we have to do that, we'll continue to do that. But I do think it comes and finds us at some point. Like, not everything's perfect.
All right, guys, we gotta go.
Go ahead, man.
What should some of your returning pieces take from just being part of this and seeing what made this team great?
Yeah, I think, you know, you build your team, you know, through your main guys. You know, so Zach Edey, your value as a player comes, you know, do you make him better? You know, Braden Smith has the ball in his hands a lot. Braden Smith makes other people better, you know, and so like what you want is like, where's our growth with the people that are coming back? Like, you know, you got a very good core with Braden Fletch, Trey Kaufman, you know, Caleb First, you know, the guys with experience, you know, that have played for us. And so like Miles Colvin and Cam Heidi, you know, I think got some really good experiences, you know, the whole season, but yet there was times they didn't play a whole lot. Now you kind of see like, hey, I don't want that role. I don't want the 9th man role or the 8th man role, or we got guys on our team that didn't get in, you know, so that is really hard. And so, but I think they understand that I'll be fair with them. And so, like, people always say, well, what does this look like? I said, hell, I don't know what it looks like. They're about ready. They're going to tell me, though. And so, like, you know, if I tell you what's going to happen in 6 months, I'm not being fair to anybody. Like, I'm going to wait and see who gets better, who's going to work on their game, who's going to evolve and be a part of that core that we got to work around, and then get things figured out after the fact. But their effort and the time they put in on their game and how they handle themselves, that's what's going to determine, you know, how much they play or who starts or things of that nature.